Williams gets it away. And we get our first look at Jalen Daniels, the sixth-year senior who told us, I was never the highly recruited guy. He thought he was going to Middle Tennessee State. He ends up starting as a 17-year-old freshman for Les Miles. In 21, doesn't win the job. In 22, he electrifies, missed nearly all of 2023. Last year he struggled. He's off to a good start this year.
It's been about injuries for his career, but he says, you know what? I'm as healthy as I've ever been, and he can't wait to put on a show.
Missouri won the toss and deferred. Kansas takes it. They've got two running backs to begin. And Leshon Williams, the Iowa transfer, back from a shoulder injury that kept him out last week. He picks up a couple of yards. What do you have your eye on early with this Kansas offense against Missouri's defense?
Well, Mike, get ready for shifts, motions, movement. This is what Kansas's offense do. They do this all game long. They try to muddy it up for the defense, having to communicate every single play.
A hallmark under Andy Kotelnicki, Jeff Grimes, the OC last year, and now Jim Zabrowski leading this Kansas offense. Pressure picked up. Daniels got rid of it quickly to Levi Wentz, who gets swung down very close to the sticks. The fifth-year senior transfer from Albany got wrapped up by the corner Dre Norwood, and it's 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short, Mike. So this gives this Kansas offense the two-way go. So this is where Jalen Daniels' legs come alive. It's 3rd and 1, the ability to hand it off, throw it, and if it's not even there, Jalen Daniels making a play.
See how good Kansas was offensively on 3rd downs as Timmy Trumpet blares here in Como. Daniel Highshines wrapped up in the backfield. Josiah Trotter, the first man in, and it's 4th down.
He's one of the key transfer portal guys. And watch number 40 just go right through. You talk about stunting like my daddy. Yeah, Josiah Trotter, his father played in the NFL. Jeremiah Trotter showing you how to do it. Get downhill, get through the line of scrimmage, and make a play in the backfield.
The West Virginia transfer last year was the Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, makes the stop. Finn Lappin is back from injury, and the punter for Kansas gets it away to Kevin Coleman Jr. and a fair catch inside the 30. All right, so here's Bo Pribula, 3 years at Penn State, 1 behind Sean Clifford, 2 behind Drew Allard, and famously entered the portal 6 days before Penn State's first playoff game against SMU, commits to Missouri a week later. He told us the #1 thing he wanted in the portal was an opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity to throw the football. When he wins at Penn State, didn't get many opportunities. He was always the quarterback that would come in and have the athleticism. They would run, run, run. He's like, you know what, I can throw. And we saw it last week in the opener for Missouri. See how much they put the ball in the air today, Mike.
And it was 23 of 28 in that blowout win. 4 total touchdowns, and of course, Sam Horn unfortunately got injured for the Tigers. Pribula for Norfleet, the tight end who loves to hurdle, picked up a first down, and that'll set this place into a frenzy on a 14-yard pickup. And look at the juice from Brett Norfleet.
Yeah, you always want to see that first shot go up in the air and go down. Well, it's the first throw. You get it to the tight end and let the tight end show you some ability. Norfleet, outstanding blocker, but now getting involved in the pass game.
2 years ago, a freshman All-American, and last year played through a shoulder injury. Ahmad Hardy, the transfer from Louisiana, running with a seam, and he's got a chunk play. First down to the plus 45, picks up a dozen.
And the battle at the line of scrimmage. Can this Kansas defensive front hang with this offensive line for the Missouri Tigers? Watch number 77 right here, the guard. Get up, Pegler. He gets up, he gets a nice little seal, and is able to get to the next level with Hardy.
It was the Sun Belt Freshman of the Year and a big portal get for Eli Drinkwitz. Hardy again, and he is slipping free. That's one of the things Ahmad Hardy does. Last year, he was 4th in the country in broken tackles, right there with the likes of Ashton Genty and Cam Scatterbo.
Anytime you're in that kind of conversation with Scatterbo, and obviously Ashton Genty, the #1 running back taken in last year's NFL draft, he's a guy that's going to make you miss. Those, I call them phone booth guys, that they can make you miss in a phone booth. He's that type of player. That's why they wanted to get him in the Tiger uniform.
John Kamara was in on the stop. We do expect to see Bengali Kamara for Kansas. Throw to the outside is caught. And it's Donovan Olumide, the talented true freshman. He picks up 9, good enough for a first down.
It's funny, we were talking about this play earlier. First look at the protection, but look at the arm strength of Bo Prabula. That ball's on the right hash. It's got to go a long way to get all the way. But the touch that he shows on that pass, this is one of the things that he wants to show everybody. I can throw the football. That was an outstanding toss.
Eli Drinkwitz said that to us yesterday. Prabula, way better passer from what they've seen than Prabula got credit for in the portal. Hardy again straight ahead. Slips free. Hardy's up to the races. Touchdown! 32 yards to the house. There is a flag down at the 4-yard line.
Watch this corner. He's the cat corner. He creeps. But if you get down in there, you got to make the play on the running back. He does it. And watch what Hardy does. The play is a touchdown. Austin Alexander, number 0. He's got to make that play. He's untouched.
Conduct, offense number 55.
And races to the end zone.
That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct goes against the 5th-year senior center Connor Tollison, but not before a touchdown drive capped off of 71 yards by Ahmad Hardy.
You just talked about it, Mike. He makes guys miss. Austin Alexander had a wide open tackle. He's the blitzer. No one touches him. And yet Hardy, the ability, elite balance to stay off contact balance and breaks to the end zone.
Robert Myers' point after is blocked. Kansas picks it up. Tommy Dunn blocked it. The Jayhawks are off to the races with Mason Ellis, who gets tracked down right around the plus 40. 91. It was in Kansas City. It was on Halloween Day. Kansas's Archie Hogg was the hero, and they celebrated with a great bonfire back in Lawrence. 2.5 hours from Lawrence, we come to you from Columbia, Missouri. Ahmad Hardy with the long touchdown run. There's a kick in the air from Connor Wesselman. After that penalty, it's fielded by Kansas, and they run it out past the 35 with Carson Broom. All right, Jalen Daniels, what does the film tell you about Daniels?
Look, he's a guy who can recognize the blitz, but also he can extend plays. I love the way that he keeps his eyes downfield. He knows there's chaos going along, but he keeps his eyes downfield, and he finds the open wide receiver. That's the ability of Jalen Daniels, but that's just not it, Mike. He also has the ability to continue to do what? Make guys miss in the pocket. Buy time, and then turn a negative play into a positive. And if you didn't know the guy had arm strength, yeah, he could put that thing in the air too as well. 65 yards on the rope a couple weeks ago versus Fresno State. He's got it all.
He keeps it himself, and he can do this. Daniels gets to the edge with a stutter step, and he pushes forward Andre Norwood for a first down.
Yeah, I thought I would probably see that on 3rd down on the last series. Putting the ball in Jalen Daniels' hands. He loves this environment. He thrives in his environment. And Mike, the one thing I can say is this. We sat back and talked to him the other day. He is poised.
Hishaw up the middle. Josiah Trotter in on the stop after a 5-yard pickup. Yeah, super poised. And he was super honest with us as well. He said last year, for him individually, was the worst season of playing football he's ever had in his life, and he's trying to bounce back in year 6. To the air. Gets rid of it quickly, but he sailed it too high for Doug Emilian, the 6th-year senior. All right, so 3rd down coming up. What do you look for? You had mentioned maybe quarterback run earlier when Daniels ran it on 1st down. Where do your eyes go here?
Yeah, this is a little bit different now. You're in 3rd and medium, so that means 3rd and 4 to 7. So these are the plays that can you still run it? Yeah, obviously, you're on this side of the 50, but the guy who I look for, Cam Pickett, number 7, he's been the kind of the go-to guy for Jalen Daniels in the first couple of games of the season for Kansas. There goes Pickett right there in the slot. He's been the guy.
Daniels, quick one to the outside, short of the sticks. Keaton Kabeka made the catch. The redshirt sophomore, just his 2nd career reception. And you go for it here?
Yeah, I go for it. He had an outstanding drive, but again, on the previous series, they didn't put it in their guys' hands. Daniels on third down or even fourth down, he's the guy that needs to have the ball in his hand. Give him the run pass option. Give him more than one play at the line of scrimmage.
So Lance Leipold is going for it. Just over 5 minutes in. 3 tight ends. Daniels throws it, and it's caught by Bowden Groon, the tight end. Takes it into the red zone, picks up 24, and on 4th and short, Kansas goes to the air.
It's all about just getting going. He's right here. He's kind of hidden, but he comes out late, and all these other guys go this way, and nobody from the Missouri defense picks him up. That's a 4th down play, and everybody is kind of looking around. They were expecting run. They didn't expect the pass. A nice delivery by Jalen Daniels.
You love tight ends, and so does Kansas offensive coordinator Jim Zabrowski, who will use a boatload of them. Screen, Emmanuel Henderson, the Alabama transfer without much room. He picks up a couple. Marvin Burks Jr., the safety from St. Louis, on the stop.
No, that was a huge pickup on 4th down, Mike. You talk about confidence. You don't want to give that ball back to the Missouri offense after what they did on their first drive. So to settle in a little bit is Jalen Daniels and his offense. Get the ball moving up and down a little bit.
All this pre-snap shifts, trades, and emotions from Kansas. They get a Pickett. Daniels up the seam, and it's caught! Touchdown! Deshaun Hanukkah up the ladder, and Kansas answers back.
I'll talk about the shifts and emotions. So watch what happens to our safety here, Marvin Brooks. He's going to see this, the fake to Pickett. And watch what the fake does. It leaves that middle of the field wide open for the touchdown throw. See, Burks, he's looking at Pickett, and nobody's in the back end for the tight end for the touchdown. An outstanding job of seeing what the defense gives you, Jalen Daniels.
Laith Marjan is on for the point after to try to give Kansas the lead. After the 7th-year senior tight end hauls it is our enemy.
I love it. Love it. I've learned a lot this week about what this rivalry means. So many great memories and historic moments.
And Don told you right off the top, both these head coaches spent time in the offseason even, and then this week as well, bringing in speakers and educating their players on the history of this rivalry and where it came from as well. A squib kick from Laith Marjan. Tavares Jones scoops it up, and the running back is swung down shy of the 20. Well, Bo Prabula, it's his job now, and that's in part because Sam Horn, who was still battling for the QB1 job into week 1 last week, on his first snap of the game last Thursday, late first quarter, he suffered a leg injury. Eli Drinkwitz has said that Horn is out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, he's out indefinitely right there, Mike. And look, you talk about a guy who waited his moment, right? Waited for his time to take over as the quarterback. And first play, he's out. But he's here with his teammates, coaching everybody up and cheering them on.
Two-sport player got drafted a couple months ago by the Dodgers as well. Eli Drinkwitz said we'll see what the future holds for him when we talked with him yesterday. This is Jamal Roberts on the ground, and he pushes the pile to about the 23.
Hey guys, I actually talked to Sam for a little bit before the game. He said he's doing as good as could be expected. You could feel the disappointment in his voice, but he's already back in meetings 2 days after his injury. He was back in meetings with the team. He's watching the game from up top, might be in the training room for a little bit as well, just to keep him safe.
And you really feel for him, a guy who in 4 years here after coming in as a huge recruit has thrown a total of 8 passes and thrown a total of 15 innings for the baseball team here. So Bo Prabula has the job. He flips it to Brett Norfleet, his tight end, defended well by Kansas. Just a yard and a half, and it brings up third down.
This is a big third down here, especially, Mike, because a guy we didn't think was going to play is out there on the field, Bengali Kamara. He's number 1. Didn't expect for him to play. He's out there on the field.
Missouri goes quickly. Prabula can run, and he cuts it upfield. Drop the football. Scooped up by Austin Alexander for a touchdown. Leroy Harris punched it out, and it's a scoop and score for the Jayhawks.
It's about protecting the football. You got to do it. And if you don't, this is what happens. Bad things. Mason Ellis, 23, comes in and knocks it out. Once you watch Mason Ellis, number 23, he's going to flash on the left side of the screen. He comes in late. You don't put two hands on the football. Boom. That ball's out. It's picked up. Ran into the end zone by Austin Alexander. That's good team defense by the Jayhawks. That's shoulder pad on football by Mason Ellis.
Yeah, the redshirt junior DB from small town Kansas, a first-year starter who has overcome so much already in his career to earn a spot. He forces it out. Fumble force, scoop and score. Kirk, take us through it.
Yeah, I want to take you right back to that third down, Mike. There's kind of chaos going on third down because Missouri's heading to the line of scrimmage. But watch the Kansas defenders. They don't even have a call. They're still looking at the sideline. But because there is a little bit of panic, they cover all the routes of what Missouri presents. Prabula has to just hold the football, and he forgets you got to protect the ball. And that's a takeaway for the Kansas Jayhawks, and it turns into a touchdown.
You would have liked to see a slower tempo from Missouri?
Well, here's a quarterback in his second game for Missouri. I would have loved for him to have a chance to analyze and see the defense. He couldn't see the defense because they went so fast, had the defense off guard, but it came and took away his first option, and his natural read is just take off and run.
First career fumble lost by Bo Prabula. Laith Marjan sends one for a touchback. So really good start for Kansas. Last year they had such high expectations. Preseason number 22 because, look at this, because of what Lance Leipold has built in Lawrence.
Yeah, but I think it's expectations sometimes, right? Here's a program that's been down for many years, and all of a sudden you start to win, and everybody's patting you on the back, Mike. Oh, look at top 25. We're going to win the Big 12, and you got to go out there and prove it. And I thought last year the complacency set in a little bit. Now, Coach won't tell us this, but I really believe that these guys felt like they had arrived, and you still got to prove it year in and year out.
He's been such a great program builder through his career. Mizzou keeps it on the ground and nothing doing for Ahmad Hardy. Trey Lathan in on the stop. The redshirt junior Mike linebacker, also a transfer from West Virginia.
Yeah, he's a guy that, look, he stands out. You run the tape on this Kansas defense. Watch number 4. He just comes downhill. He's very similar to a lot of NFL linebackers that you see a guy that he sees space, runs, and go makes plays.
Good friends as well with Josiah Trotter from their time with the Mountaineers, and they're on opposite sides of this rivalry today. Prabula with carnage all around him gets dragged down. Tommy Dunn Jr. with the sack and a loss of 3.
Oh, man, I want you to watch this effort right up the middle, Tommy Dunn. Watch the effort of Mr. Dunn. He refuses to be blocked. He's got 2 or 3 guys, and then he just gets the Superman. Watch this move. He gets in and just watch the Superman to go get down Prabula. Outstanding job by Dunn. Refusing to be blocked. Look at the Superman. Oh, what a play.
The redshirt senior from Texas with a ton of experience forces 3rd and long.
And this is what I talked about on the previous series, right? Mike, 3rd down. It's letting Prabula see the defense so he can make his observation and make the right play.
Just a 3-man rush. Prabula flushed, chased, he throws it. Norfleet makes the catch right near the original line of scrimmage for 4 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Leroy Harris was in pursuit, and Mizzou will punt.
Yeah, that's a nice job. You saw that one too. Leroy Harris, he was the spy on that play, Mike. He didn't rush. He stayed back about 5 yards, waited for Prabula to commit. Once he committed himself as a runner, Harris put the pressure on him.
That's Tate Nagy back deep to get it from Connor Wesselman. Nagy, a true freshman who is the son of former Bears head coach Matt Nagy, now the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Nagy off a hop. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers. And Tate Nagy gets around the corner and takes it back just shy of midfield. 23 yards on the run back. Hey, coming up tonight on ABC, 7:30 Eastern time. Top 20 showdown. It's Michigan and Oklahoma. And part of new quarterbacks at big programs all around the country. Bryce Underwood, the freshman, and the transfer, John Mateer.
Yeah, Mateer versus Underwood tonight, man. That's going to be a special matchup. See what the Michigan Wolverines on the road, can they go out and show what they're going to be about in 2025 in Oklahoma? Coach Venables, see what that defense can do.
Well, here in Columbia, Kansas up 14-6. Each team with a good touchdown drive. Kansas is spurred by a 4th down conversion to its tight end, Bowden Groon. And then Kansas, the scoop and score off a Bo Perbula fumble. So good start for Lance Leipold's team, already 2-0. 5 wide for Jalen Daniels on a quarterback draw. And Daniels picks up a few yards out toward the 50. Ball came out, but they are marking Daniels down first. So 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, anytime you get into that empty formation on the Kansas side defensively, if you're Missouri, Corey Batoon, the defensive coordinator, they've got to have a check. There's a check to make sure that everybody knows that there's an opportunity for a quarterback run.
If the runner was down before he fumbled the ball, the previous play is under replay review.
All right, so you just got one look at it. Marquise Graciel, the redshirt junior nose tackle, 33 in the black, punches for it, and then he comes in as well.
Yeah, that ball's out.
The ball come out? I mean, that thing is out.
That ball's out. The initial punch that I see, that ball's out. That ball's in the right hand, and that punch comes in right in. You mentioned it, Mike. Graciel, that's a right-hand punch. I know Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford is next weekend, but we got a little bit of it preview right there with that punch from Graciel. That ball's on the ground.
Yeah, that is not even close.
The Peanut Tillman punch from the National Football League. That ball is out right there before any body part comes onto the ground. That's a nice job by Graciel running to the football. And that's the 2nd time we've seen quarterbacks fumble the ball, Mike. Not having 2 hands on the ball in traffic. We saw Perbula in the 2nd series, and now Jalen Daniels with the fumble on that one.
And so let's see where and if there is a clear recovery on this as well. Ball still loose in there.
Loose.
It does look like Kansas grabs that.
Yeah, it's a fumble, but it may look like a recovery by Kansas because inconclusive on who actually recovered the football. They may stick with the call on the field as a call being
After
upheld.
review, the ball was fumbled and recovered by the offense. It'll be 2nd down at the 48-yard line.
So clearly a fumble, and I think clearly also a Kansas recovery, and so Kansas dodges a bullet there.
Yeah, quarterbacks in traffic. You got to put 2 hands on the football. We've seen that twice today.
Crisis averted for Jalen Daniels, who at times has struggled with turnovers, especially last season. 2nd down for the Jayhawks from right around midfield. Daniels to the sideline, and they call that incomplete, intended for Carson Brune. The redshirt freshman tight end could not make the catch, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, the protections tried to hold up, but you could feel it caving in. And Jalen Daniels has a tough time sometimes holding on to the ball too long. So 3rd down and long, he's got to get rid of the football quickly, and if it's not there, his ability to take off and run stresses the defense.
Pickett, 7 and wide, a guy you mentioned on 3rd downs. He was the motion man. Daniels takes a shot downfield, and it's caught. Levi Wentz hauls it in. Beat Dalen Carnell and picks up 50.
I wish I could tell you something better. I wish I could say it was just a great route, but this is just speed. Watch speed go to the outside and just run by everybody. That's just speed. That's nothing different. It's just get to the outside and just run past. Nice job by Wentz.
Now on the ground with Daniel Highshot. He gets stacked up, pushing the pile close to the goal line. They'll mark him down at the 1.
I wish I could have told you something different. I wish it was a double move, or maybe he, moved to the left and then came to the right. It was just speed. It was a track meet, and Wentz won that one the previous play.
And how about a great ball as well from Jalen Daniels?
And we talked about it earlier, Mike. That long, deep ball accuracy. He's showing what we've always saw from him in his early years, but he's trying to prove it again in his 6th year.
extra offensive lineman comes in for the Jayhawks, Nolan Gorsica. Highshaw's the running back. Highshaw gets it, plunging forward, and Highshaw is marked short. Third down coming up as Mizzou stands up on Highshaw.
Yeah, Jalen Marshall, 95 in the middle, the big guy, playing two gaps. Two gaps meaning he's playing the A and the B, meaning he's playing on either side of the center. That time, creating a pile for that defense.
All right, what do you like here?
Jalen Daniels, right? We're down here, third and goal. I want the ball in my best player's hands. It's not about plays, it's about players, Mike. And if Jalen Daniels has the ball in his hands, I feel like I got a good opportunity to score.
Quickly under center, and it is Daniels in for a touchdown.
That's just the experience of a sixth-year senior. A lot of times, everybody would do what? They're going to go right over the center. He realizes that they're stacking the box. They're on top of the center. So what does he do? He moves to the right and just finds a little bit of a seam. See how he moves to the right? He's like, no, I'm not going to go over the center. I'm going to go where there's an open window. He found the open window and got just enough for the touchdown. It's about players, not plays. Jalen Daniels with another touchdown.
It looked like he had something to say as well. He got bumped at the end of it and then ran into the end zone to celebrate, enjoyed himself, looking off toward the Kansas section of fans as well in this rivalry game. And what a start for Jalen Daniels at Kansas since that first 3 and out.
I'll go back to that fourth down conversion on the second series,
On
Mike.
the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under review.
So they want to check this to make sure that Daniels crossed the plane and got in for a touchdown. Near side official had called it good, and let's have another look.
Yeah, we can have another look. And all remember, the ball just has to touch the goal line. That's it. And I don't know if we have a look that may show you. My initial was that, yeah, it's a touchdown because I don't see anything that would take me away from saying that the call on the field will not be upheld.
Nothing conclusive from the first 2 angles. Here on the third, you'd certainly think that's
You
in.
think that, right? You feel like, you know what, I think he's in. But if you have to think about it, usually the call on the field stands or it's upheld.
Jalen just said on the sideline, I know it's good. I'm not worried.
After talking to Jalen, everything's good in his eyes. Trust me, he is a very confident young man.
Very positive, very charismatic. And that is Mike McCabe helming this Big 12 crew, checking things over. You could read his lips right there. I know I'm in. I know I'm in.
But just the awareness, Mike. Just think about the awareness. How many quarterbacks would have tried to just go over the center? We saw this last week, right? Remember Arch Manning, Ohio State, Texas. This time, the sixth-year senior shows you how to get it done.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is upheld.
Again, that's the new language this year. Upheld instead of confirmed or stands. They're going to save some time and just determine if it's upheld or overturned. And as Jalen Daniels promised, via Don, it is a touchdown for Jalen Daniels and some big conversions from this Kansas team. First on 4th down, the drive prior, and then the big one on 3rd down to Wentz.
Kick is good. Kansas 21.
All set up by the arm of Jalen Daniels. They put those 3 receivers to the right and set up this big shot.
An outstanding throw to Levi Wentz. Just runs right by the corner. Carnell, and then just the feel of the quarterback. I'm not going to go where the traffic is. I'm going to go away from the traffic. And that's Daniels right there, the 6th-year senior, right? Says, I don't want to be compared to Bo Nix and Michael Penix, you know, guys who were 6th-year guys, went on to the NFL right now in their 2nd years. And that's kind of the case study, but he says, I'm different. And I want to show you I'm different. And so far, you couldn't ask for a better first quarter than Jalen Daniels.
Again, we showed you the context. He is the only FBS quarterback who in these last 6 years has started at least the game in all 6 seasons at the same school. You asked him about it. He said, I'm the last of a dying breed. And in the age of the portal and NIL, he's stuck here, and he's trying to make this his best season yet.
Yeah, and I understand it. You get it. just had a bitter taste in his mouth for what happened last year. With the expectations put on this program, and they didn't live up to them. So new year, new season. They've had a couple of games under their belt a little bit, but to me right now, they're clicking.
So Daniels and the Jayhawks up 21-6 in this border showdown with just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Marshawn, the fifth-year senior, transferred in from South Alabama, ready to get it away to Missouri. Tavares Jones with the fair catch signal. Done.
Yeah, guys, I'll tell you, the noise down here has been pretty loud until that last touchdown, especially on the Kansas side near the student section, but it has not fazed Kansas. They haven't had any communication issues, nothing at all, and a lot of that is Jalen Daniels. He's been in complete control, emotionless, calm, calming any teammates that haven't been. You know, it's interesting because defensive lineman DJ Withers has witnessed his quarterback's transformation. He's been with him since he got here, and he told me this is the best leader he's ever seen out of Daniels. It's showing up on this sideline too already.
Yeah, unfazed, being here on the road at Faurot Field. And now Bo Prabula and the Tigers back with it, and Ahmad Hardy with a good gain off the right side, takes it past the 30 with Trey Lathan in on the stop.
And I love that play call, because up here you would think, oh my God, it's chaos, it's panic. What do we do? What do we do? They've scored 21. We've only got 6. You said it's a long football game. We're still in the first quarter. Let's not take away from who we are. Let's continue to ground and pound, and we'll find our way through. And I think getting Bo Prabula in rhythm, we'll see as this game goes along. But a great drive starter running the football.
Kirby Moore and Eli Drinkwitz and their offense. Second down and 5, and this is Hardy with no running room off the left side. Keenan Caldwell strung it out, and a horde of Jayhawks in on the stop. Third down coming up.
I don't know if they want to live in the third and medium, third and longs, because now this is where this defense can be able to get set and try to get after the pass a little bit. I talked about Bengali Kamara. He's on the field right now on this third down play. He's their best rusher. Didn't think he was going to play. He's out there on the field right now. Here's Kamara, number 1.
It was last week in practice where he suffered a left knee injury, was expected to be out for a good chunk of time, and he is a surprise activation for the Jayhawks here today. Jamal Roberts, the dependable running back, into the game on third down. Pressure comes. Prabula got rid of it quickly to Kevin Coleman for a first down and more. Out to the 50. The Mississippi State transfer picks up 20.
Oh, I want you to watch the official right here. He's going to have a little bit to do with it, right? He kind of runs a pick route. And this is what the heady Coleman does, run right at the official. And the official kind of creates that separation. That's all you need to get Coleman in the open field. And Taylor Davis just couldn't get there in time.
Play fake. Clean pocket, and Prabula had it batted down by Bengali Kamara. Flag comes in at the end of it. Looked like DJ Graham, the corner, was engaged with one of the Missouri wide receivers.
But the ball was tipped. So by Kamara tipping that pass, it may have been a no pass interference. Or did they call holding before the pass was tipped?
There's no pass interference on the play. The ball was tipped. Second down.
You're on fire, man. Stay hot.
It was a late flag, and I'm saying, how could there be what's the late flag for? Because the ball was tipped by Kamara. That negates any holding or pass interference by the defense.
And how about how big of a boost it is to have Bengali Kamara, 6th-year senior, transferred from Pitt to South Carolina to Kansas, and he was so good in week 0. Jamal Roberts on second down gets just about a yard, and that's it. And now third down and long coming up.
Yeah, here we go, Kamara again. He's just my guy. I'm just watching him all week long. I put him on tape and I said, man, this dude is different, number one, Kamara. He's been to a couple of schools already, but he feels like this is the best place for him, Mike.
It's a non-contact injury in practice. Looked like Kansas might have jumped. Purpula goes to the air, got it to Xavier Lloyd. There was a flag down, good enough for a first down and 15 yards. So Kansas jumped, free play, and Missouri connected with Lloyd anyway to close out
15.
first.
Justice Finkley, 15.
Defense number 15. That penalty is declined. Result to play, the first down.
The wire.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, pretty good tackling there from Bengali Kamara on Kevin Coleman Jr.
I mean, the dude's all over the place. I mean, I didn't know if he was going to play or not. He comes out there with this big, giant knee brace on, and he's already making an impact. That's a tackle for loss. He had the batted ball, and he's just making plays.
He ran by you down on the field pregame. Gave you a nod that we both thought meant he was going to go.
Yeah, he's ready.
Second down and long for the Tigers. Ahmad Hardy. Foot in the ground with a couple of cuts. Got to the second level. Jalen Todd on the stop. A couple yards shy, but it'll set up third down and manageable.
When Hardy gets the football, Mike, it is just straight ahead. He's not trying to make it. He's going to make you miss, but he'll run you over too. So you got to make a decision as a tackler. Do I try to stay on my feet, or do I just give everything that I've got? He just has the ability to show you the size, the speed that he can maintain through the hole.
Pride of Oma, Mississippi. He rushed for more than 1,300 yards last year at Louisiana Monroe. Third down and 3. Hardy broke a tackle, pushing the pile, and he's got enough for a first down. How about the second effort from Ahmad Hardy?
I mean, he makes Kamara miss, and then just the leg drive. You know, he only stands like 5'10", 210, but he runs so much heavier, so much like he's a much bigger back. Just watch the ability. Makes the first guy miss. We've already talked about that. And then the leg drive, knowing where that first down marker is to pick it up.
I mean, that was shifty, and it was the power as well. Impressive stuff from the sophomore running back. So fresh set of downs for Bo Purpula and Missouri. 10th play of this drive. And stacked up this time. Hardy just back around the line of scrimmage. Second down coming up.
Guess who it was making a play? Kamara again. He's like, I'm done with this. He comes in and just lights everything up and creates an edge for the defense to get everybody together. So here we go with a situation where we haven't seen Purpula take off and run again, right? Everything's been handoff, handoff. He's thrown the ball a couple of times. I think you don't want to take away his asset of running the football, especially down here near the red zone.
Again, a role he knows so well from his time at Penn State. Kamara jumped, free play, up the seam, and it's caught by Josh Manning for a first down. So a couple of free plays that Missouri has capitalized on.
I think this is Kamara here on the edge.
Offside. Defense number 1. That penalty is declined. Result to play is a first down.
And this is one of the things that you're able to do at home, is manipulate the snap count, right? Crowd realizes, hey, let the offense work. And that's a nice job by Purpula utilizing that snap count. He's drawn, that's his second drawn offside by the defense.
From just outside the 10. Purpula keeps it this time. And defended well by Kansas on the edge. DJ Graham, the 6th-year senior corner on the stop.
And we always say quarterbacks get courage. They come alive in the red zone because now you have to defend an extra player. So you always have to be aware of the quarterback run. That time the defense was all over it, having an outside edge and keeping Purpula bottled up.
Have not heard from Marquise Johnson yet. 2 in black, bottom of your screen here on the near side, who had a monster game last Thursday in week 1 for the Tigers. Hardy again with a cut. Chopped down at the 6. He picks up 5. And Third down coming up with Lyric rolls in on the stop.
Yeah, nice job. Offensive line up front, the blocking. You don't need much for Hardy, but here we go here. Another big third down. See the formation they want to bring in. They're going to bring little guys in. Take the big guys out. So you've got tight end, 3 wide receivers. You've already mentioned Marquise Johnson, but you really haven't called his name yet in this game so far.
He and Kevin Coleman are on the right side, near side of your screen. Line to gain is just shy of the goal line. Another run, and Hardy gets wrapped up by Trey Lathan. What do you do here on 4th down?
I go for it. I mean, we're downhill. Field goal doesn't really do much. This is your best drive outside of the first drive. I think you go for it here, but keeping the ball in Prebula's hands.
And the 3rd down play call certainly seems to indicate that for Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, absolutely. But the play call here, again, you went to Hardy on the last one. Hardy's out of the game. So again, Prebula, he's your guy. This is why you brought him in. He's the transfer portal guy. Let Prebula make a play.
15th play of the drive. Prebula, Coleman, touchdown, Tigers.
So you got to make a decision. This play is actually made by Marquise Johnson. Watch him come off, and he's going to make a little pick route. And all you see is this, and just go to the outside in the corner. He's just got to make the play, and that's Jalen Todd, 26. He's got to go over the top. See Todd, he's over the top, but a nice job of picking and shielding by Marquise Johnson. He created the space that Coleman needed to race to the pylon, and a nice throw from Prebula.
Coolest things I had ever experienced in my entire life. Let's go Mizzou.
We will hear from players on both sides of this rivalry through the years. In the first meeting today since 2011, Emmanuel Henderson gets swung down. Let's check in with Don.
Guys, this Missouri defense, the message all week, see a little, see a lot. Josiah Trotter told me that's been the talk with this Kansas offense because of all they do pre-snap. They're trying to make you think too much, and that reminder just happened here on the sideline before the defense headed out. Don't think too much.
Kirk, what's that mean to you as a linebacker? See a little, see a lot.
Meaning, tell me what's the final picture. Just see the final picture. All the bells and whistles, that means the motions and shifts. Just tell me what's the final picture, and you go play football.
Because of all the pre-snap movement that we talked about with this offense for Kansas, much like Missouri's offense as well. Daniels under pressure, and down he goes. Ball came out at the end as well. Still loose and picked up by Kansas back in its own end zone. It's a safety. Zion Young got home on Daniels, and what a lift by the Missouri defense right on cue.
Yeah, it's just refusing to be blocked, and that's Zion Young. He's on the outside. Watch number 9 right here. He just comes through, and he attacks the football. It's what you're taught. It's okay to just get to the quarterback, but just watch. Attack the football. That's what he does. Gets that ball out. No recovery, but it's recovered in the end zone for the safety. That's a nice job. We're just talking about this defense. Don just hit on it. It's about making plays. It's about seeing the final picture. That final picture is 2 points to the Tigers.
Zion Young, the senior boundary defensive end who arrived last year from Michigan State. Last year he had that dramatic scoop and score touchdown against Oklahoma. This time he gets home on Daniels, and you see what Lance Leipold's argument is that a Missouri player, while on the ground, batted that forward into the end zone. That's the case that he's making to these officials right now.
Let's take a look, Mike, because you cannot bat the ball forward. I think you may have a good conversation right there. It looks like Damon Wilson, the second, number 8, had a little bit of a bat. Batting the ball backwards.
So it ends up as a safety and a big boost for the Missouri defense, who had not been able to solve Jalen Daniels and this Kansas offense since that first 3 and out.
Just a couple minutes ago, it was 21-6, right, Mike?
We've had a little bit of everything in this game so far. We've had a blocked extra point, We've had a Prabula fumble into a scoop and score. Now we get a safety as well, only the 6th safety in FBS games so far this season, a couple of weeks in.
What do you expect in a rivalry game, right? That's what we expect. Chaos, madness. You just never know. It's the team that makes sure they're able to maintain their focus throughout. It usually wins a game like this.
And if you're wondering why can't you review that, batting is something that is not reviewable. So frustrating even more so for Lance Lockhole. Tavares Jones gets banged shy of the 30. All the swings and the emotional pulls in this game. And this is the latest as Missouri adds on 2 more.
Yeah, just right there before the recovery, it looks like it was Damon Wilson, number 8. He bats that ball backwards, and like you mentioned, Mike, not able to review that. Turns into 2 points.
So Missouri gets the football as well, of course. They're down by 6 now, and after they marched on that 15-play drive, they got to feel a lot better about the way the offense is moving.
Yeah, I want to see, can they get Marquise Johnson going, right? Number 2, we haven't seen him. He's the big play guy at wide receiver. See if they can get him going in his drive. He's right here in the slot.
There has been plenty of Ahmad Hardy. Already 11 carries. Prabula backpedaling, zips one downfield, and batted away at the last moment by Taylor Davis. The redshirt sophomore safety makes the play as they were looking for. Marquise Johnson, who's still down. Especially after how last year went. We welcome you back to Columbia, Missouri. 21-15, the Kansas lead with this rivalry renewed. Border showdown in action. So Marquise Johnson was able to jog off the field after his left leg appeared to get tangled. Taylor Davis in coverage. Prabula, quick out. Kevin Coleman, who last year was top 2 in the SEC in receptions. He picks up 9, 3rd and short. Let's check on Marquise Johnson again as well.
Yeah, it looked like he was able to jog off. He goes immediately into that tent. And so we're still waiting for see what's his status for the rest of the game.
And now on 3rd down, up the middle, this is Jamal Roberts, good enough for a first down. Well, he'd be a big guy, obviously, to have at their disposal, and that is great to see from Marquise Johnson coming back on the field. Last week, 5 grabs for 134, a touchdown as well, and he did so with a heavy heart, honoring his mother, Denise, who had passed away in April. And Marquise was playing the first football game of his life that his mother was unable to attend. Prabula steps up in the pocket and takes off. Prabula slides down with a first down in plus territory. He gets to the 48-yard line.
I want you to see how this thing just parts like the Red Sea, man. He just, Prabula, this is his ability to see things and just go. He knows he's got the athletic ability to take off and run. And a nice job of seeing it. Great coverage downfield. But watch the alley that he just runs through. Look at the alley. That's just wide open. A nice job by the quarterback seeing it, getting positive yards.
He had 10 rushing touchdowns in his time as a backup, change of pace guy at Penn State. Jamal Roberts with some wiggle, and Roberts picks up 4 yards. Midway through this second quarter at Faurot Field, Memorial Stadium, for meeting number 121 between Kansas and Missouri. They flex out the running back, Jamal Roberts, to the top of your screen. Empty it out for Prabula. A little crosser. Close to the sticks. Josh Manning is a yard short. 3rd down and 1 coming up.
Man, I like this little rhythm that Prabula's in, right? Earlier, I thought he was a little sped up. Now you see he's more relaxed a little bit. And I think the empty formations, getting all the receivers out lined up, is letting him see the defense, letting him see the personnel groupings they're in, but more the scheme. What's their fit? Are they in cover 2, cover 3? He's doing a great job in that. And this right here could be 4-down territory, Mike, depending on what they do on 3rd.
And with the ball at the 38 for Eli Drinkwitz, Kirby Moore and the Tigers.
I wouldn't be surprised they take a shot here and go for it on 4th down if they don't pick it up.
Ahmad Hardy back into the game. Hardy with a cut. Oh, Oh, he's got the wiggle too. Running over defenders, and he dropped the football. Looks like Keegan Trost falls on it for Missouri. And crisis averted for the Tigers with the right tackle pouncing on it.
Oh, man, he makes Trey Lathan watch in the middle. He just makes Lathan number 4. He's the best tackler. Makes him miss and just continues to go. He just bounces off people like pinballs, but he's got to protect the football there. Justice Finkley knocking that one out.
Ball security has been paramount in this first half. Hardy already up and over 100 yards rushing with about 6 minutes to go until halftime. So feed him again, but he is met in the backfield by Bengali Kamara. Loss of 3, and what an impact Kamara continues to make.
Watch Kamara come underneath. He's on the right side. He doesn't have to engage with the blocker. He decides to give him a shimmy shake. He comes underneath and makes a solo tackle. Sometimes you don't have to engage with the blocker. If I can make a miss by my athleticism, do that and make a play.
Part of falls for this Kansas defense, led by new defensive coordinator D.K. McDonald. 2 of those tackles for loss from Kamara. On 2nd and long, Prabula tucked it, and Prabula gets wrapped up for a loss. There is a flag down. Leroy Harris got to him.
I wonder, did Harris grab the face mask, it looked like, or did he grab the shoulder pad? Wasn't sure, but he was able to bring him down. It's a nice job by Harris. He got up the field and was able to retrace and grab Prabula.
Yeah, we thought they threw a flag down.
I thought they threw a flag down. I don't see a flag on the field.
It looks like they picked it back up. I was wondering the same thing as you. Was that going to be a face mask on Harris? So brings up 3rd down and long. Pressure comes. It's a screen, and it's Coleman, and he's chopped down. Sure-handed tackle by Lyric Rawls. 4th down and long coming up. Ball's at the 31-yard line, and you've got a true freshman kicker.
And that goes into the decision. This is a group, a lot of 5th-year seniors on this defense, Mike. They're well aware of what you do on 3rd and long. They're able to come corral the ball carrier down. They're lining up for it, Mike.
They need 10. Again, torn ACL for Missouri's redshirt sophomore kicker Blake Craig last week. So they've got a true freshman who has assumed a responsibility in Robert Meyer. And Eli Drinkwitz is going to... That right there is Robert Meyer. Ball's at the 31. It's 4th down for Missouri. Normally you would think you'd make it a 3-point game. True freshman has never attempted a field goal because Blake Craig suffered a torn ACL. Really good kicker who last week made from 55. They brought in a JUCO kid earlier this week to really try him out for the job as well. So they go for it on 4th and 10.
Man, you got to do what you got to do, Mike. No faith in the kicker just yet. I'll put the ball in my quarterback's hands.
Bo Prabula fires toward the sideline, and did he hold that in? Donovan Olumide made the catch. Welcome to Columbia. The blue chip recruit delivers on 4th down.
Oh, what a throw by Prabula. It's a tight window throw. He layers it right over the top of the corner, right in front of the free safety. An outstanding throw.
Now Jamal Roberts gets toward the edge and picks up a yard. I mean, they love this kid, Donovan Olumide, who just made one of the great catches of the early season.
Mike, see how that ball, it's right over the corner, but right in front of the safety. Lyric Rawls thought he was going to intercept that play. Remember, his 4th and 10. And to have faith in Prabula to make the throw, you got to love Eli Drinkwitz believing in his quarterback, making a play on 4th down.
Olumide was number 108 in the ESPN 300. Kirby Moore told us yesterday he's going to be one of the better freshman wide receivers in the SEC. Prabula hits his tight end Norfleet, who lowers the shoulder, and Norfleet is very close to a 1st down, and he's got it.
Norfleet, man, he's Mr. Do Everything. He's the handyman of the offense. He blocks, shows you can catch the football. He does a little bit of everything. He's also a lead blocker for those receivers in the screen game. And now he's an outlet for his quarterback. It's 1st and goal for the Tigers, and they're rolling.
This offense has been humming these last couple of possessions. 14th play of the drive on first down and goal.
Here's our guy again, Norfleet. I talked to Mr. Handyman.
Hardy. He gets back toward the line of scrimmage. Got wrapped up by DJ Graham and Lyric Rolls.
Nice block there by Norfleet. I think they take this down to the 2-minute timeout and have a conversation.
Well, this has not disappointed in any way here in Columbia. Got to go back to 2011 to find the last meeting in a rivalry that started in 1891. Missouri. Kevin, we look forward to it. Thank you very much. We welcome you back to Columbia, Missouri. 2 minutes to go until halftime. Missouri has run 30 of the last 31 plays offensively with the Jalen Daniels turnover. Second down and goal, Ahmad Hardy strung out, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally gets dropped. Tommy Dunn was the first one to him, and now third down and goal coming up.
I like that play call there because you want to force Kansas to have to use their timeouts. There's kind of a 2-for-1 situation here. Missouri will receive the football to start the second half, so getting points here is crucial, but not allowing that offense of Kansas to get back out on the field. I'm not surprised by that second down run. Maybe you see it here on third down as well.
It has been all Missouri on offense for this second quarter. Prabula to throw. Prabula, end zone incomplete. Wanted Marquise Johnson. Jalen Todd in coverage. Some grabbing, and Johnson wanted a flag.
Yeah, I think he should have got a flag on that one. Jalen Todd had the jersey. But they always say that's why you don't wear the long T-shirt. See the long T-shirt by Johnson? Gave Todd an opportunity to hold on to that long T-shirt. They always say, cut the T-shirt. Keep the jersey nice and tight on you. We got the extra little bit of clothing on you. Todd's able to hold on to that. The referees did not see it. Usually it's called, but learning lesson right there by the receiver. Cut the extra clothing off.
So now here comes Robert Meyer, the aforementioned 18-year-old true freshman from California, handling the duties with Lake Craig out for the season. So 21-18, and Missouri gets back within 3. For 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to All-States. So if you're just joining us, maybe you've been flipping around other games around the country. Kansas got out to a fast start, 21 first quarter points, helped by a scoop and score. Most Jayhawk points on the road in a game since 2003, but Eli Drinkwitz's team has responded here in the second quarter.
Yeah, second quarter, 25 plays for Missouri, only 1 play by that Kansas offense, and that was because of the Jalen Daniels fumble, right, that resulted in a safety for Missouri. So right now this offense has been on that sideline for Kansas for a very long time. They've got a 2-minute situation here, right, with 1 minute, 3 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They would love to try to get points here, but even get into the halftime break and make some adjustments with a 3-point lead.
Oliver Robbins, the NIA transfer, got it deep to speedy Emmanuel Henderson. The Alabama transfer tries to get to the edge, and he gets checked out at the 23-yard line on the stop. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. And Kevin Connors was telling you that Ohio State looking comfortable against Grambling so far. What else catches your eye, Kurt?
I mean, Texas rebounds, right? Nice job by Arch Manning, letting last week go against Ohio State and coming back. And Oregon right now, been some talk all week between Mike Gundy and Coach Dan Lanning about players
and who's got money,
who's well-funded and who's not. And right now, it looks like the Oregon guys are putting in work.
56 seconds and 3 timeouts to work with, and Emmanuel Henderson gets met right near the line of scrimmage. Timeout taken here, and the signal is that Missouri calls the timeout first.
Timeout. Missouri. 30 seconds.
So let's take you back to 2007. If you were with us earlier, you heard Chase Daniel, our new teammate, talking about it. The biggest game in this rivalry's history. Kansas was number 2. Missouri was number 4 at Arrowhead. And Chase Daniel and the Tigers, with enormous stakes, got a 36-28 win. It was for the right to face Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Although Kansas ended up going to the Orange Bowl and not Missouri.
Oh, man, so many great players in that game. You mentioned Chase Daniel, Chris Harris, you see Aqib Talib, man, just a lot of great football players when this rivalry was cooking, like cooking.
Todd Reesing sacked with 12 seconds left by Lorenzo Williams, and a win for Gary Pinkel and Missouri. It was an absolute epic. All right, so Missouri's got one timeout left. This is on the ground with Daniel Hishaw. Got away from Darius Smith and then gets chopped down along the sideline by a flying Dalen Carnell. It got out of bounds, so the clock stops. And we remind you of the border showdown. Again, they can't agree necessarily on the exact record between these teams. Hadn't met since 2011, after which Missouri went to the SEC, and the first time they've been here in Columbia since 2006. All right, so it's a 3rd down and 8. Missouri's got one timeout to use. You surprised Kansas hasn't been more aggressive with the 3 timeouts of a 6th-year senior quarterback?
No, not at all. I think right now you hear this crowd. It's electric.
First charge
It's loud.
Kansas. 30 seconds.
But on 1st and 2nd down, you're surprised. I mean, they threw it to Henderson on the first play. They run it there. And he's surprised that they didn't try to go 2-minute drill?
Well, the drive starter, your first play. You get positive yards and you're kind of in 2-minute mode and you're trying to push the ball down the field. But that first play, it doesn't really go anywhere. They're really just trying to get in at halftime. They want to get at halftime, make some adjustments. Remember, they sat down on offense for the entire 2nd quarter after a outstanding 1st quarter, Mike. So I don't think they wanted to be too aggressive. And the way that this crowd has kind of come to life in the 2nd quarter, this defense is starting to play well. This is a great atmosphere for college football. You don't want to turn a bad play into something worse, knowing that, hey, they get the football to start the 2nd half.
I mean, think about this. Before these couple of plays, it had been 1 play this quarter for Jalen Daniels in Kansas. They get 2 here, and as you said, Missouri gets the football. Big 3rd down. Daniels keeps it, and he can run. And Daniels gets met. Khalil Jacobs in on the stop, and 4th down coming up.
Third and final charge timeout. Missouri. Game clock operator, please restore the game clock to 38 seconds.
Well, we're very excited about this. The all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place with live games, live stats. Plus, you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players. Well, if you're Missouri here, you're going to get the football back. You're still going to have some time to work with. Veteran quarterback, even though it's only his 2nd career start, and this offense has been in gear here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, but you also got a freshman kicker as well, right? So you've got the freshman kicker, see if he can get an opportunity to kick one through the uprights. He already did on the previous drive, but see if he can have one more.
Finn Lappin back from injury, ready to get it away to Kevin Coleman Jr. Coleman from just outside the 20. And he gets met. There is a flag down at the end of the return, right near the 22-yard line.
During the return, holding receiving team number 29. 10-yard penalty, 1st down Missouri.
Cameron Keys, the guilty party.
Yes, Keys right here. Just watch. He's going to hold on to the jersey right there. just got to let him go. Just got to let him go. Can't see an official who's staring right there at the point of attack. Watch the yellow flag come in right after.
All right, so it backs up. Every amount hurts here for Eli Drinkwitz. Without any timeouts, 28 seconds to work with. Down by 3 headed to halftime. Couple long drives orchestrated by Bo Pribula, the Penn State transfer, sat behind the last couple of years. Drew Aller in Happy Valley. Ahmad Harding in the lane. Rather, Jamal Roberts on the move. And Roberts takes it into plus territory. Well, that changes things immediately for the Tigers.
Well, now they got to go. They got to go and get on the line of scrimmage and spike the football. Already have a play ran.
39-yard pickup. And they don't spike it. Pribula's going to the air. He swings it incomplete toward Josh Manning with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, but I would have loved for them to spike the football and kind of regroup. Watch this run, though. How it opens up. Roberts just comes right through and gets all the way. I would love for him to run to the sideline and get out of bounds and preserve the time. But just a nice job of the open lane and getting more. But also should have got out of bounds, too. Could have helped out the offense.
Well, now Kansas will take a timeout. They've got
Second charge
2 left to
timeout.
work with and use one of them here.
Kansas. 30 seconds.
So 13 seconds to work with. We'll see if Missouri can get in range here for Robert Meyer. Welcome you back upstairs. Kirk Morrison and Mike Monaco with you. Don Davenport down on the sideline. And Kirk, this has not disappointed in any way. So charged up for this rivalry game coming in, and it's lived up to it.
It's a rivalry game, right? We've seen turnovers, we've seen big plays, we've seen great tackling, some outstanding performances, and this is what you expect with two teams battling not just for their conference rights. You know what I mean? It's still SEC now, Big 12, but it's still the old school rivalry, and you're seeing it today. Both sides. It's been ups and downs. See what happens here at the end of this first half.
Yeah, neither of these teams ranked, but you got the feeling that, especially in this time slot, your afternoon, it's about as compelling as it gets across the country. Pre-snap movement there, and there's a flag on the far side of the field.
Penalty flag.
Yep. Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
7th-year senior, the 24-year-old Keegan Trost, who transferred in from Wake Forest. So a couple of penalties have really hurt the case as well for Missouri, just trying to get in range for Meyer ahead of halftime.
Yeah, so it's either going to be a field goal opportunity or possibly a throw to the end zone after this play. Just trying to figure out what could they do to get just a couple more points going into half.
Pribula up the seam, and he's got it complete. Kevin Coleman on the move. Coleman shoved out of bounds near the goal line. And they'll mark him out at the toe. With 3 seconds remaining, a 50-yard pickup, and what a shot in the arm.
And Mike, I'm saying how? How does this happen? Well, it's because of tackling. Poor tackling and poor angles. It's the safety. Looks like he's just out of the play. He's got to make that play right then and there. Taylor Davis, he doesn't, and that allows Coleman to get all the way down. And now, no timeouts, no field goal. The offense is on the field.
You can tie with a field goal. You okay with this?
I'm okay with this. I think Lance Leipold's not okay with this. He wants to get his best defense out there.
Third and final charge timeout. Kansas.
Well, Lance Leipold had said to Don after the first quarter, he felt his defense's tackling needed to improve, and poor angles, that sets in motion Kevin Coleman with the big chunk play for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's just poor angles. You have to have the right angle. So watch here. The corner's got to, the safety's got to stay here, but he's got to come down at the angle to make the tackle. That's just a nice job by Coleman making guys miss. See, the safety gets right there in the middle. And that's Taylor Davis. He's got to make that play right there. You make that play, you've got an opportunity for the clock to run out. The offense has to get on the line of scrimmage and spike that football. He doesn't make the play, and it turns into one last opportunity right here for the Tigers.
Eli Drinkwitz was aggressive earlier with a 4th down play call at the end of an enormous 15-play drive, the first of those long ones. And now after thinking things over, he is going to go for the tie with Robert Meyer from 20 yards, made from 25 earlier.
What they say, cooler heads prevail. I think you get your offensive staff say, hey, let's grab 3 here because we get the ball to start the second half.
And the true freshman tucks it inside the upright and ties this game.
I think that's why we're all knotted up at 21 at the half.
And as we talked about, Missouri gets the football to come out of halftime. Tavares Jones, he gets crunched right around the 20. Let's check in with Don Davenport.
Yeah, Mike and Kirk, with a rivalry game, what comes? Adversity. Exactly what Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz told me. He said, for us, the adversity came in the form of a fumble and some turnovers in that first half. But other than that, thought he was pretty happy with what he saw out of his offense. He said this is a big drive for them to set the tone in the second half. Now, on the other side for Kansas, Coach Leipold talked tackling in that locker room. He said, we have been gap unsound that entire second quarter, and that has got to change. Otherwise, this is going to be a long half.
Yeah, it led to what ended up being the game-tying field goal from Robert Meyer right before halftime. Seen a lot of the Missouri offense. We get to see some more from them. In the second quarter, they ran 28 plays offensively to 4 for Kansas. Jamal Roberts goes barreling up the middle, picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, solid running game for Missouri in that first half, though. Between Roberts and Hardy, both guys really, I thought, had got some big yards and kind of kept the offense really moving a little bit, with Perbula kind of getting settled in.
That's how you end up with a 15-play drive, a 17-play drive as well, and I think Bo Perbula's looked pretty good outside of the fumble.
Yeah, he's just taking what the defense gives him.
On second down, he does that again. He's got it complete to Kevin Coleman, who gets wrapped up by Austin Alexander. That's 16 completions for Perbula, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, big 3rd down, our first one of this half. And you want to see, can this Kansas defense bring pressure? But with the 3rd and short, it gives Missouri the opportunity to run the football. And I'm okay with handing the ball off to Hardy or Roberts. You have that ability in this running game.
It's Roberts who's in there, not Hardy, out of halftime. 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. Pressure comes. Perbula backpedaling, and he's got it complete across the middle. Out near the 40 to Kevin Coleman, working on Taylor Davis for a 10-yard pickup.
This is a nice throw. It just comes all the way from over here. Just watch Coleman. He's going to go all the way across. Watch the drag. It takes protection to get this thing right. But when you have that kind of protection, you're able to get the throw off. Perbula with a nice dive for the 1st down.
And how big has Kevin Coleman been? The slot wideout from St. Louis, who transferred back home. 8 grabs for 99 yards. Play fake. Perbula lowers the shoulder into Trey Lathan. Gets just a yard.
Yeah, you thought that was going to be a big play, right? A lot of motion and movement. You had the spread on the outside. Perbula takes off, and Trey Lathan, the for sure tackler for Kansas, erases that play.
Again, Perbula looked really good in week 1 against Central Arkansas, now making his 2nd career start after 3 years plus a degree at Penn State. He's 17 of 21 through the air. Missouri's already piled up more than 300 yards of offense. Roberts gets past the 45 and sets up 3rd and short again for the Mizzou offense.
Yeah, I love the initial surge of the offensive line. It's like these running backs get to the line, and then they fall forward for like 3, 4 plus extra yards. Nice job of pushing the pile and keeping those feet moving by the running backs.
Reshuffled on the O-line. Out of the backfield. This is caught by Daniel Blood. He turns it into a 1st down. The junior from Louisiana, only the 11th catch in his career, picks up 13.
Yeah, watch this. They put him in the dilemma, right? He's got to have the running back. But watch, because he goes underneath. That's Trey Lathan. He goes over underneath, just that little bit of hesitation, and that puts you out of position, and that's a big gain on 1st down by Blood.
The quintessential Missouri offense as well, moving people around, eye candy. A wide receiver lined up as a running back there. Ahmad Hardy with his first touch of this second half. And how big was he in the first half? 15 for 78, and totally living up to all the hype of the guy who transferred in from Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, there's a reason why they saw him in the transfer portal. They want to get that running game back. I remember a couple years at Cody Schrader. Remember, Schrader was downhill, in your face, and Hardy reminds me a lot of that. He's not trying to juke you to the outside. He wants to go downhill, make you miss in between the tackles.
Hardy again searches for a lane off the left side, and he picks up 2. I think you got to really like what you've seen from offensive coordinator Kirby Moore, 3rd year on the job. Brother, of course, of Saints head coach Kellen Moore. He's really had the offense in gear.
Yeah, think about the quarterback, right? You've got a new quarterback. How do you get on the same page with Bo Pribula? Well, I think early on, he said they clicked when they had that opportunity for the visit for Pribula. Let's see what 3rd down, what he's got cooked up here. Putting the ball in his quarterback's hands on the plays that he likes on 3rd down that he talked about in our meeting yesterday.
And they went over the call sheet on Thursday night. They need 4. Pribula into a tight window, and Trey Lathan bats it down. Intended for Kevin Coleman. 4th down coming up, and 4 down territory.
Wait, was that a linebacker covering a wide receiver? Come on, put that on the clip. That's a highlight tape. Trey Lathan showing you how to do it. Outstanding job. He's right there. He secures the tackle with the left hand, but he's got the right hand to knock the ball away. Trey Lathan showing off some defensive back skills.
4th down, where do you go? You need 4.
Yeah, I go right back to Coleman. He's still the guy.
3 in black, slot right. Bo Pribula across the middle, and it's incomplete. Jalen Todd broke it up, draped on Marquise Johnson. He straps in. We haven't seen a lot of Jalen Daniels recently. Under-recruited. Thought he was headed to Middle Tennessee State. Ends up starting as a 17-year-old freshman for Les Miles. In 22, he's awesome. Generates Heisman buzz. Game day is in Lawrence. Back injury in 23. Struggled some in 24. And he is back on offense at long last for the Jayhawks. With all day, and he rifles it complete across the middle to Carson Broom. Redshirt freshman tight end for 15.
He goes through his progressions. He goes 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's an open receiver. Happens to be the tight end Broom. Right over the line of scrimmage, right over the ball. That's a nice job there by Jalen Daniels. Not trying to get everything back right away. He was on basically that sideline for the full 2nd quarter, still showing the poise of the 6-year senior.
That was only his 2nd pass attempt since that 50-yard dot that he dropped in the bucket to Levi Wentz. One of the best throws, perhaps, of his career. From midfield, Daniels takes off and goes spinning back toward the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 1.5 yards. Tristan Newson, the 6th-year senior will linebacker, on the stop.
And there's something that I would say, give a critique to Jalen Daniels, is kind of how he fades back in the pocket. See how he just kind of fades just a little bit? You always want to move forward in the pocket if you're the quarterback. Put the pressure on the defense, but he believes that every play is going to work. Just give him time, and that allows him to get the ball down the field, but it also can put him in harm's way.
How would you say he has towed the line between risk-taking so far?
Well, as long as he protects the football, right? He's put the ball on the ground already a couple times today. Got to keep both hands on the ball.
Gets rid of it quickly, and it's dropped. They'll say it's incomplete. Was not a catch. Doug Emilian, the wideout, was jarred by Marvin Burks, and it's incomplete in 3rd and long.
That's a huge drop, because now you go from 3rd and manageable, right? 3rd and medium, to now you're 3rd and 11. So now you're going to ask your quarterback to go make a play. 3rd and 11. Either find the right guy or get us into a manageable 4th down situation if possible.
Look at this place. Three-man rush. Daniels under heat. And Daniels gets to the sideline, and he's dropped out of bounds by Darius Smith. Now there is a flag down at the end of it.
As they sort out this flag, a nice job by Darius Smith. I thought he grabbed somewhere along that jersey, but he got on the inside. It wasn't a face mask originally. I love that counter by Corey Batum, the defensive coordinator from Missouri. Had Darius Smith as the spy. Didn't allow him to commit to the rush.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So they are calling a face mask on Darius Smith. You didn't think so? Let's have another look.
Yeah, I think he got just a little bit. It's right inside of that face mask, and he pulls it. Yeah, I see the head. The head moves. So he didn't get the full face mask, but just enough. I think it's a tough call, but I just watched the head movement of the quarterback. His head twisted to the back. To me, it looks at maybe a shoulder pad or not, but it's up against that head and neck area. I think the officials saw it as a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked somewhat like the shoulder there. Out of a 2 running back set, this is Le'Shawn Williams, the Iowa transfer. Let's have another look at it.
You know, I've looked at it a couple times, Mike, and I think it's right. See the head turning? Right there. See that? See how the head's turning? And I don't think he got a lot of the face mask, but you don't need a lot. You can just get a little bit of the face mask, and I think that's where the penalty comes in.
Well, that is huge. And it keeps Kansas on the move from just outside the 40. Pressure comes. Daniels across the middle, and a bobbling catch is made by Deshaun Hanika, the tight end, good for a first down.
Feeling the heat, Jalen Daniels. He just seeing him like an old shortstop, right? Trying to turn 2, gets up and throws that one across. That's a great feel of the game by Jalen Daniels.
Daniels up the sideline, and he's got it again to Hanika. The 7th-year senior tight end picks up 14 more and another first down.
This was all from Jalen Daniels again. It's a pump fake. He uses both shoulders, gets that ball to the outside, and this offense is rolling.
So guys like Hanika stepping up. We've heard very little of Emmanuel Henderson. Here's Daniel Highshaw off the left side. And a positive gain on first down for this Kansas offense. Well, you knew they were chomping at the bit. They had been pretty conservative in the final minute before halftime with timeouts at their disposal. Lance Leipold did not get aggressive with it at all. Missouri, thanks to some poor tackling, they end up tying the game, but now Kansas on the march. Daniels toward the end zone, into coverage, incomplete. Intended for Levi Wentz, and Dre Norwood draped all over him.
Yeah, nice job by Norwood. We've seen some great jobs by these defensive backs on both sides, right? No interference calls, right, Mike? These guys have been playing great technique, and this one forced a third down. And I love this place on third down. The zoo, Fairhope Field on third down has been live. Can Jalen Daniels make another play here on third down?
They need 6. Daniels flush. Daniels tucks it toward the sideline. He goes spinning and gets crushed right near the 5. And what an effort by Jalen Daniels.
I want to see that his foot step out of bounds before he was able to make that move, Mike. His foot was right near the sideline. And this near side official, I think he steps out, or he's right along that yard marker about the 13, 14-yard line. And that's what Eli Drinkowitz is yelling at the official to the near side to take a look at that.
Yeah, and where you saw it, where you were pointing to it, it certainly looks like he's short there.
Yeah, but determining whether the runner stepped out of bounds.
It was about the 13-yard line. He tight-roped that sideline, Mike. And I'm not sure that the foot stepped on the white. And Eli Drinkowitz had a nice angle on it. Let's see what we have here.
The first time it's close right there, but maybe stays in. But then the next steps as you continue to go, his next steps with his right foot are really close as well.
That is going to be close. I don't know if if I
right
see it,
there, he's definitively out.
He's definitively out. That's the one I was looking at. He tight-roped that sideline, but that's the one that's out of bounds. Right there. Before he made the move to get the line to gain.
So it's close there, and then on the second plant with his right foot. Definitively out, short of the line to gain.
Correct. It's a great job by our camera crew getting those angles. I'm watching it live, and that's the first thing I saw. And Eli Drinkwitz, head coach for Missouri, he was all over it. He was pointing here, right at the sideline, saying, he's out, he's out. That's where the replay comes in.
So then what do you do if you're Lance Leipold? If you got fourth down coming up a few yards to get, do you take the lead, kick it with a veteran kicker, or do you get bold?
I never want to take points off the board, Mike. I'm on the road. I'm going to take 3. Give me 3. Okay, allow my defense to have a nice stop on the first drive coming out of half.
It'd probably be about fourth down and 3.
Yeah, I take the field goal.
We'll try it from our pylon cam as well.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 8-yard line. It'll be fourth down.
So it is fourth down as we suspected, and Lance Leipold does take the points as you would expect at 21 all and trying to grab the lead here with inside of 6 minutes to go in the third. Laith Marjan, fifth-year senior, went from East Carolina, where he was told he wasn't good enough. Says he's had a chip on his shoulder. Last year at South Alabama, he was very good. 16 for 17, second team all-conference. Off to a 2-for-2 start the first couple of games for the Jayhawks. This is from 26 for Marjan. And he gives the Jayhawks the lead once again.
I mean, literally all week long, I was hoping, man, we get a chance to see him play. It was a non-contact injury. They didn't know he was going to be available. He warmed up, and there was a look in his eyes that me and you saw coming out of the tunnel right before pregame. He said he was ready to go. He looked like he was ready to go, and he's shown. He's one of the best players on this team right now.
Talking to a few different Kansas staff members on the field pregame, they said Kamara has really attacked his rehab to be in a position to come back from what was a non-contact knee injury in practice headed into their game last week. So Kansas with the lead now. They're up by 3, some extracurriculars that you would expect in a rivalry resumed. And now Missouri goes back on offense, an offense that has been very impressive so far, really since the end of that first quarter.
Well, they've leaned on their run game heavy, right? Between Jamal Roberts and Ahmad Hardy, both guys have had some carries that have really settled the offense. Now, we get into this late in the third quarter, fourth quarter, it's got to be Prebula time. They're going to win this football game, Missouri will, because of their quarterback. He's going to have to make some big decisions, some big throws, and we'll see if they can put a consistent drive together and try to get some points here.
Kid from York, Pennsylvania. Play fake. Prebula goes to the second layer, and he's got it complete. Marquise Johnson the grab, good enough for a first down.
Yeah, I love that elevator route, right? He had level 1, level 2, level 3. He took level 2. He didn't get greedy to go to level 3. He took level 2. And that's just a positive play. Those are drive starters, Mike. Get your confidence going on the first play of a drive.
And good to see Marquise Johnson involved. We told you in the first half that last week, such a huge performance, playing with a heavy heart. Prebula slips it out for Ahmad Hardy. And Hardy gets tracked down by Tommy Dunn. Yeah, Marquise Johnson's mother, Denise, passed away in April. So last week was the first time he played a football game in his life without Denise there. He wrote "Love You Mom" on his eye black, wrote the date of her passing back in April on his other eye, and he said after the game, every single thing for her in that game was for her.
Just playing with a heavy heart.
Eli Drinkwitz had so much praise when we talked to him yesterday for the way Johnson has handled the adversity and matured. Hardy goes spinning down, dropped the football. They'll say he was down. And it'll set up third down and about 3.
Yeah, he was down on that play. A nice job of playing cleanup. It was Lyric Rawls, the safety. That's a huge third down right here for Missouri.
Ball security continues to be of the utmost importance in this game.
Yeah, this one, he's already on the ground, securing that football when you get into traffic.
Where are you looking on third down?
It's a big one. I think you always got to look in the slot, but with Norfleet, the tight end up top, it means he's going to be a guy that's going to get one little punch on the defensive end and try to maybe work Johnson down at the bottom.
Pribula floats one, sideline, and he dropped it in perfectly to Daniel Blood. 25 on the pickup.
Sometimes you may not get the football, but just how you do it as a wide receiver gets you right in there. Watch Johnson. He comes in, and that's another little pick route. They call it a rub route, but it gave enough time and space to get the ball to Blood.
And Pribula fires this one at Marquise Johnson and got it complete for an 8-yard pickup.
Now, did Johnson catch that football? The ball was down low, and they hurry up on the offense. I don't know if you get a second look. Nice catch by Johnson.
Get the snap off, and it's Ahmad Hardy. And Hardy's got enough for a first down. Blake Harold in on the stop. Tigers move the chains.
Yeah, they're moving fast, too. And you like this rhythm for Pribula, right? It started with that drive starter, remember, to Johnson. It gets going, and you get a couple of nice runs. And then you just allow the quarterback to just start picking the defense apart.
Again, the question was coming in, how would Bo Pribula fare as a passing quarterback? I'd seen him running so much in his time with Penn State. Well, he's answered those questions in a couple of games. On the rollout, Pribula back in the end zone, incomplete, in the vicinity of Xavier Lloyd, and there is a flag down with Jalen Todd in coverage. Remember, Todd earlier might have got away with a grab on the undershirt of Marquise Johnson. Maybe not so fortunate this time.
But my only concern was that ball catchable? That ball's thrown deep in the back of the end zone. I think that's why these officials are huddling up, because was that ball catchable?
There's no foul on the play for defensive pass interference. The ball was deemed to be uncatchable. Second down.
Yeah, there was restriction by Todd. That definitely, I saw the restriction, but the ball was thrown so deep out of the back of the end zone that you can't call a penalty on that situation. Right at the top of the screen, see Todd, he's got the restriction right there. There's the restriction, but where's the football? The ball sailed about 10 yards high.
So it brings up second down and 10. 2.5 to go in this third quarter in this border showdown. Roberts straight ahead. Roberts picks up 4. Third down coming up for Missouri.
Every time you hand the ball off to Hardy, it is a collision. It is, and Roberts, both these guys. Roberts, Hardy, doesn't matter. But it gives them an opportunity here on third down that you can do a little bit of everything. Remember, the field goal kicking on fourth down, does that make Kirby Moore, offensive coordinator, more aggressive here on third?
8 of 14 on third downs, and they got Kansas to jump. DJ Withers, the fifth-year senior defensive tackle, jumped, and that'll be costly. It was third down and 6 when Withers flinched.
Offside. Defense number 92 with contact. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
They're going to say Tommy Dunn. There was plenty of pre-snap movement from Kansas.
You know, I hate those penalties. If you're a defender, right? Especially two guys right next to the football. You move when the football moves.
So now you got all kinds of options on third down and 1. Roberts met in the backfield on the second effort, going to be very close. And it's enough for a first down. Justice Finkley had a chance at Jamal Roberts, and you mentioned these Missouri running backs breaking tackles.
They lean forward. You've got an opportunity to get him in the backfield. Finkley had him wrapped up, but it's just the strength of these running backs and the willingness and understanding of where that play, that first down marker is, they continue to find the marker.
And every Missouri drive feels lengthy. Prabula gets swung down. Keenan Caldwell, who's been a game wrecker so far in 3 Kansas games, comes up with a stop for a loss of 2.
Yeah, I love this one by Caldwell. Big 97 coming back and finding a way. He was double teamed, Mike, and fought through a double team to go make the play.
So you got 2nd down and goal coming up. Final minute of this 3rd. Missouri had the long drives of 15 and 17 plays in
You got
the first
a
half.
lot of open field over here, Mike. A lot of open field.
Prabula looks that way, floated it for Campbell, who got cut off there by Saeed Gibbs. 3rd down.
Yeah, I knew they were going to work the open side of the field. Right-handed quarterback, balls on the left hash. You always think about the wide side of the field. It's the most space and allows the routes to develop. Trying to get the ball to Coleman, the most shifty receiver. That time, just great defense by Kansas.
Now, where do you go here? 3rd down and goal from the 11.
I love option routes. I love my guy in the middle, Coleman. He's got to be your go-to guy. He knows how to get open in these situations.
Prabula across the middle, touchdown! Brett Norfleet, and Missouri's got the lead.
Awesome. The backside guy, watch the backside linebacker who misses it. It's John Kamara. He comes late. He's shielded by the umpire. John Kamara, number 8, he's the backside linebacker. All the focus is on the receivers to the opposite side. No one looks at the tight end, and that's where the throw went for the touchdown.
I'm sure Missouri would like. Back in Columbia, Missouri, and Missouri back in front, 28-24 on Kansas. There's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? Let's check in with Don.
Hey, I'm pretty impressed by that section over there. I spent some time with them at the beginning of the game. They were loud. Some of the things they were saying to the Kansas players just made you feel like you were in a heated rivalry. Mike, midnight is what time most of them got here to the stadium. They slept for about 20 minutes, and look at them, still bringing it today.
And their favorite part of today is coming up between the 3rd and the 4th quarters. Trouble with the snap here, and they're going to throw a flag first. Right near the line of scrimmage, as Bowden Gruen, the tight end, came up with it.
Illegal snap infraction. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
It's on Bryce Foster, 5th-year senior captain, making his 43rd career start.
That was a bad play right there. They blow it dead. It could have been a horrible play for Kansas to start this drive, but the crisis averted, and now backed up 5 extra yards.
To the 20 for 1st down and 15 for Jalen Daniels. Design run with a seam. Sure-handed tackle is made defensively by Tristan Newsom on a 6-yard pickup as we tick toward the 4th.
Well, I think that's the last play of this quarter. And it's going about right as we expected. Close game, but it's the 4th quarter now. Execution, holding on to the football. This is what we see in the 4th quarter.
Game of the week. 4th quarter of this rivalry. Missouri up 28-24 on Kansas with the football with 2nd down. Jalen Daniels with all day. Deep shot downfield, and he overcooked it for Emmanuel Henderson. Moments ago, Don Davenport with Eli Drinkwitz.
Coach Drink, 4th quarter, what do you have to do to finish it off?
Yeah, we got to settle in on defense and then continue to find ways to run the ball offensively. That's a big-time drive for us right there. But now our defense has got to go get a stop.
Thank you.
MIZ.
Back-to-back 10-plus win seasons. In this game against their bitter rival, they once trailed by 15 points. Would be its largest comeback win since 2016, and a huge third down and 8. Pressure picked up. Daniels got rid of it, and just out of the reach of a diving Emmanuel Henderson. Fourth down coming up.
Man, that's 2 plays to Henderson. They missed what could have been a for sure touchdown. He overthrew Henderson, and this one, a nice little out and up to Henderson, and Jalen Daniels just missed him. He had all the time in the world, but those are the throws that you have to make in a critical fourth quarter. Those are the throws that Daniels has to connect on.
It seemed like he was in a really good rhythm, especially in that first quarter, but you can understand it's been choppy for him since, but 2 opportunities there for the taking.
Yeah, those could have been big plays. One to keep the drive, one could have been a touchdown.
Finn Lappin gets a low returnable kick away to Kevin Coleman, and Coleman takes it to the 36-yard line in solid starting field position for the Tigers, who keep having these 10-plus play drives. And you heard Eli Drinkwitz say it, their last one was very good.
Yeah, this one was just all Bo Prabula. The nice throw to Blood on the conversion on third down. And then just the running game, right? Running backs finding enough to keep the chains moving. And a nice job by Prabula to Norfolk for the touchdown. It's just a nice job all around. Running game, blocking up front. And Bo Prabula really coming into his own as the quarterback of the Tigers.
Really only saw him in a big role at Penn State last year against Wisconsin. Took over for Drew Aller in the second half. Helped them get a win on the road. Ahmad Hardy goes up the middle toward the 40. Mason Ellis on the stop. We talked with Bo Prabula yesterday. Drew Aller had decided he was going to come back for another season at Penn State. Portal quarterback dominoes were already falling. Miller Moss had committed to Louisville. So on December 15th, 6 days before Penn State's playoff game against SMU, Prabula hits the portal, commits to Missouri a week later, and he told us the number 1 thing he wanted was opportunity. Hardy again. He gets dragged down, and it'll set up third down and 1.
Yeah, just going back to Prabula, I just thought it was interesting that he went to practice that day. He entered the portal. It wasn't a decision that was light for him. Found a way to say, you know what, it's tough, but I still care for my teammates at Penn State.
Hardy gets swung down. Fourth down coming up. Leroy Harris, transfer from Chattanooga, got home, and what a big stop that is for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, knifing in there. He beat Norfleet to get down inside, and looks like the punt unit coming out. It's a nice job by 33. Harris just fighting his way inside. That's a huge stop for that defense.
Massive early on here in the fourth. So Connor Wesselman, the Stanford transfer, 5th-year senior from Atlanta, comes on, and both teams getting their personnel aligned here.
I think Missouri's just as shocked they're not going for it on 4th down or not getting it on 1st down.
Kansas afforded the chance to sub, and they're going to run that right into a delay of game. Missouri did not have its personnel on the field. It looked like Xavier Lloyd perhaps was late getting on, so Kansas needs a chance to be able to sub as well, and they'll be hit with the delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Yeah, I think it's the shock and indecision, right? You get to 3rd down, and they've been so effective on 3rd down in that run game that they would usually get the 1st down. And so sometimes they always say, hey, pump be ready on 3rd down. But it's the way they've ran the ball on 3rd and 1. You're not thinking that you're going to go for it on 1st down. You're thinking, hey, we're going to get the 1st down and move on.
Especially with the way Ahmad Hardy has run it for Eli Drinkwitz. 100 yards now on the ground. Missouri's racked up 178 yards rushing. Wesselman gets it away for the true freshman Tate Nagy. Signal for the fair catch, and he hung on to it. Boy, that got done. Kevin, not a passing grade for Dabo Swinney's team so far in that one. Meantime, back here in Columbia, Missouri, Kansas with the football down by 4. Long way to go in the 4th. Worst starting field position for either team, and Le'Shawn Williams for just the yard. Little trouble at the mesh point with Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, that could have been trouble at the mesh point, right? Not sure if Daniels wanted to hand that ball off or keep it. taking a look at it, it's almost felt like Daniels wanted to take that ball away. He wanted to hold on to it. That could have been a disaster.
Lance Leipold had said to Don, Kansas has to be able to run the ball. I mean, what are you seeing from their offense?
Well, they cannot get the consistent running game going. So they're going to just have to rely on Jalen Daniels. He's got to be Superman, honestly, in this fourth quarter, because he's the inability to run the football because of this Missouri defense.
Four-man rush. Daniels zips one sideline, and he got it complete. Out past the 30. It's been his big target today, the tight end, Deshaun Hanukkah for 25.
That's a nice job by Hanukkah. Watch on the right side. Hanukkah just runs a little wheel route, but the patience by Daniels, and look where he throws it right in between the linebacker and the safety. Man, these are tough, tough throws, but you trust the 60-year senior that he can make that.
Well, you said Superman. It is going to have to be him if they can't run the ball. But then the next part is don't gamble. Don't take too many chances. That's the fine line they always walk with Jalen Daniels. He even said to us, I can't be Superman this season. Off some trickery. Daniels flings it. Sideline and dropped by Daniel Highshaw. The running back who had all kinds of room at midfield.
Wow, you dial that up. You practice this play all week long, Mike, for it to this moment. You get the direct snap to Highshaw, and Highshaw hands it to Jalen Daniels, and everyone forgets about Highshaw. That ball's got to be delivered on time and be perfect. Just a missed opportunity. Could have been a huge play, but you practice those plays all week. It's called special period. You practice it, and you got to execute it in the game.
Jim Zabrowski, the offensive coordinator, had cooked that one up. And now second down. Daniels steps up. He fires, and he's got it complete. There's Emmanuel Henderson. Enters the chat finally, the Alabama transfer for 26.
Well, look at this pocket. Look at the time that Jalen Daniels had a chance to throw. Watch this group right up here up front. They do a tremendous job, and they create this nice little pocket for Jalen Daniels to sit, allow the route to develop, and deliver a strike.
Last week for Emmanuel Henderson, 6 for 130 and 2 touchdowns. Had been very quiet to this point. Had just 2 for 4 before that hookup. He's the big play guy with a ton of speed and explosiveness. Daniels back to the air. Felt the pressure. And Daniels takes off. Outraces Rodriguez. Stayed on his feet. Tiptoes out of bounds shy of the 20. And Jalen Daniels has been Superman on this drive.
The ability to extend plays. Mike, there is nothing there on this play. A lot of quarterbacks don't have this type of athleticism to keep going, to keep finding a way, keeping his eyes downfield. He probably ran about 100 yards, it felt like, but just gets enough, keeps the balance. Just an outstanding play. I told you he had to be Superman. That's a Superman-like play by Jalen Daniels.
Kid who told us last year was the worst season he's ever played of football in his life. Felt like he was pressing too much. Now orchestrating. Down the sideline, out of the reach of Levi Wentz. Stephen Hall, the 6th-year senior in coverage.
I wondered if that one is a throw where Jalen Daniels a little tired. Like tired throw, just kind of throwing it up. So does he get a chance to take a breath, take a breather? And this Missouri defense, a lot of hands on hips. You're seeing guys looking around. It's an extended game. It's a rivalry game. A lot of energy being exerted here. Can this Missouri defense stand tall, like Coach Drinkowitz was talking about a minute ago?
Remember, their D hasn't been out there for long extended stretches really since the first quarter. Daniels got rid of it to Cam Pickett. And the Ball State transfer, who this week dealt with an ankle injury. He picks up 11 and a first down. He's one of those weapons you'd been calling for, him and Henderson, to get involved with Daniels.
No, he's such a sure-handed wide receiver. And those types of guys, you don't need to scheme to get open. They just find a way to get open. That time Pickett knew it was zone, and he stopped because he knew the zone defense was there and got the first down.
First catch for Pickett in this ping-ponging rivalry game. Young jumped. Daniels free play, and he sails it incomplete. But Zion Young jumped on the Missouri defensive line.
Offside. Defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Young, who showed up last year from Michigan State. Real charismatic personality and leader on this team. Forced the safety against Daniels back in the first half. If you're just joining us, this has gone back and forth and has totally delighted in this return of the rivalry for the first time since 2011. Glad to have you with us. Daniels pulls it. He flips it. Hanukkah, another touchdown. Jayhawks back in front.
I love this. What a play call. Because you get down here, we're talking receiver, but watch the tight end. He hides in here. He acts like he's going to block, but instead of blocking, he continues on his route. This is a nice job of Hanukkah showing as if he's going to block, but what? He just goes out, fakes the block, and he's right wide open for the touchdown. A little deception there from Hanukkah. Another touchdown for the tight end.
7 years of college football for Deshaun Hanukkah. Coming into this game, he had 20 drum, and that is the prize. And yeah, it started exactly 90 years ago. 1935, purchased from a pawn shop. Alums from both schools in the Kansas City area, they signed it. And now version number 3. Hey, our week 2 SEC football lineup continues tonight. 7 Eastern, exclusively on SEC Network Plus the ESPN app. Arkansas hosts Arkansas State. 7:30, get number 3 LSU against Louisiana Tech. And on SEC Network, number 21 Bama trying to bounce back against Louisiana Monroe. All right, you said to me, Kirk, Jalen Daniels had to be Superman on that drive. And how about the selling?
A little Superman Clark Kent. There you go. Button up, keep the tie up. He went from Superman back to Clark Kent, but he's doing a great job. And now he's going to call on his defense, but can Bo Prabula do the same?
Got it away quickly toward the sideline to Jamal Roberts, who picks up about 9 yards. Okay, so you've had Daniels on one side. He just led the 92-yard drive. And now Bo Prabula, who's been great. They each have 1 turnover they'd like to forget, but we started the day saying this is a phenomenal quarterback matchup. And it's lived up to it. Second down. Prabula across the middle, and he got it complete to midfield. Kevin Coleman again. 17 more yards, up and over 100 for his day.
Yeah, Coleman just again, he's playing on the inside. He just has this chemistry with Prabula. He shows hands, and that ball is delivered on time.
His 5th career 100-yard game. Check down. Roberts lowers the shoulder and gets back toward the line of scrimmage. Trey Lathan in on the stop, and Bengali Kamara on the scene as well. All right, midway through this 4th, Kirk, in your mind, this game comes down to what with all the twists and turns we've seen?
Well, if Prabula's got the ball in his hands, to me, it's him making the right decisions. I think he has the ability to take off and run when needed. He's got to use that capability. I know he wants to show off the arm, but it's going to be on his shoulders the rest of this 4th quarter.
It's 26 of 34 through the air for 281. You see the numbers for Bo Prabula. Pressure comes. Prabula cannot escape. Leroy Harris collapses on him. It's a loss of 7.
Nice job by Harris. He's going to be on the right side over here. And watch him, he's going to outside and come on the inside. That's just a nice job by Harris late. He gets up the field, and here he comes. Makes the play.
Father played in the NFL. He sets up 3rd down and long for this Missouri offense. And now you're inside of 7 minutes to go as well. Prabula, shallow cross. Brett Norfleet slipped the tackle, and he goes spinning to about the 46-yard line. Trey Lathan wrapped him up. They get a big chunk of that back into plus territory. 4th down, the offense stays out.
Yeah, there's no, I don't see the punt unit even assembled. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Remember earlier, Prabula had a nice play to convert on a 4th down. Will they go back to that same situation here?
You said to me at halftime, this game's going to come down to 4th downs.
Here it is. This is the first one of this fourth quarter.
The Tigers need 7. They're 2 for 3 on 4th down. Pressure comes. Prabula got it to Coleman for a first down. Enormous. And how big has Kevin Coleman been?
That's who do you trust, right? He's only been here for about 20 minutes. Watch Coleman. He just goes over, and he always is right there. When he shows hands, that ball's delivered on time.
Prabula going right back to the air. He takes off. Now here's the legs, and he slides down shy of the 30, picks up 3 yards.
I love the confidence of Prabula. That's a nice throw to convert on 4th down, and then the defense has been, to me, playing a little bit of zone. He recognizes that and just gets positive yards. Doesn't get everything, but a positive gain on 1st down.
It's a reverse here. They flip it back to Prabula. He takes a shot, and no, he'll just get rid of it. Well defended by Kansas. John Kamara stayed with the tight end, Brett Norfleet.
Yeah, it goes down as an incompletion, but that's just getting to the next down. I'm okay with that. He didn't get greedy. That's experience right there. You mentioned it 3 years previous at Penn State. Maybe, hey, my first opportunity, I'm trying to make a play, throws it away, and gets to 3rd down.
And now they need 7. Likely in 4-down territory. Crosser, it's the freshman. Donovan Olubade toward the sticks and looks to be just short. Jalen Todd wrapped him up. 6-yard pickup, 4th down and 1 coming up.
Oh, I think it's a mistake by Olumide. He had the 1st down marker, but he slowed down. It's the double mesh route, but if Olumide just runs right now, just starts running, he's looking at the defender. You run straight to the marker and extend the football. You won't even have to worry about 4th down, but he was thinking about the defender. You go run to the marker for the first.
He knows it. He just let out 4 letters of frustration. And now it's 4th down again. Prabula against pressure. Finds Norfleet. Off to the races. Touchdown!
You have to handle the eye candy. So you get the motion. You get all of the action going this way, but everybody forgets about the tight end Norfleet, who just hides back in there. And that's where the play is developed. Look at all the action going to the right. Norfleet goes to the opposite side. Prabula, nice throw, and Norfleet. Man, these tight ends have been balling today. That's his 2nd touchdown today, Mike.
And it's a 4-point lead. The true freshman, 2. Missouri's kickoff goes for a touchback, and Kansas has it down by 4. And 4th downs have been the story for Missouri.
That's what I figured. It was going to be about 4th downs. The field goal kicking situation with Missouri a little shaky. So it was all about conversions. And on 4th down, the ball was in Bo Prabula's hands. Olubade and Coleman went back to Coleman again. He got popped, but he held onto the football. And this is the best one of them all. Norfleet, the tight end, goes underneath, wide open for a touchdown. It was going to come down to 4th downs, and we still got about 4 minutes to go here. Which team is going to execute through all 3 downs, and if possible, a 4th down?
Last time out on offense, Jalen Daniels led a 92-yard drive for Kansas. He goes to the air, and he fires one to Keaton Kebeka for his 2nd catch, and he picks up 5 yards.
A nice drive starter. We got to talk about drive starters, Mike. Like, those are positive plays because you're staying ahead of the chains. So you don't feel rushed. You don't feel like I got to make up the yards on 2nd. That's a nice drive starter for Kansas.
They spent so much time on situational football, so much time on 2-minute drills after last year, 1 in 5 in games decided by a touchdown or less. Daniels gets rid of it, and Highshaw is dropped immediately for a loss. Josiah Trotter breaks out Dad's celebration, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, bringing the hammer. It's the hammer by Josiah Trotter. He's just playing zone defense, staying in his zone. Patient, 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 then drive on the football. That's great zone defense. You give the quarterback the opportunity to make the throw, and if he connects, then you tattoo the receiver. That time bringing the hammer was Trotter.
and 7. Daniels out route, and he's got it off the fingertips of Henderson. 4th down.
That's a throw. That's a perfect throw. Henderson's got to come down with it. That ball's there. That's in his hands. That's Henderson. He's got to make that play. Emmanuel Henderson, the transfer from Alabama. These are the moments, critical moments in the 4th quarter. That's a ball that has to be caught. Outstanding throw from Daniels on the 3-and-out.
Known for his speed, the knock on him, a former running back, was always the hands. Kevin Coleman out of bounds at the 25. So Missouri up by 4. 2:45 to go. And how good has Bo Prabula been? In his 2nd career start, the Penn State transfer has absolutely been dealing for the Tigers.
Yeah, I feel like he's coming to this game with a chip on his shoulder. He may not tell us that, but he wanted to prove to people that he was a passer. He wasn't just a gimmick quarterback. And you've seen it throughout this game, his decision-making and throwing the football. I love his toughness, and he's really come in and been a leader for this football team right away. There's a reason why he's a captain on this football team. His hard work, the ethic, just talking to him, it means a lot to him. And he's got a crazy, crazy schedule routine throughout the week that prepares him for moments like this.
It's a handoff to Jamal Roberts. Stretches it out to the right side, and he gets tripped up inbounds. Mason Ellis in on the stop, and a good pickup of 11 for a 1st down. Yeah, Bo Prabula has just been fabulous. After week 1 last week, he said it was something I've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, watch this block by Joshua Manning on the outside, Mike. You talk about you get wide receivers over in the blocking game. That's how you get those big runs.
It's about a 2.5-second difference here coming toward the 2-minute timeout. And a fresh set of downs for Bo Prabula and Missouri. Roberts, net by Bengali Kamara. 2-yard pickup. That takes us to the 2-minute timeouts. The border showdown has been excellent.
Timeout.
Eli Drinkwitz, Tigers by 4. A rivalry that started in 1891 got back underway today for the first time since 2011. This is the first of 4 home-and-homes. They'll play next year in Lawrence, then in 31 and 32. Missouri with the football, up by 4, 2 minutes to go. And 2nd down and 9. 3 timeouts for Lance Leipold in Kansas. Jamal Roberts off the left side with the lead. Roberts off to the races. He is gone! 63 yards. Perhaps the coup de grace. Richard Sophomore from St. Louis, known for his dependability. Well, how about a gash to extend the lead to 2 scores?
Manning, Johnson, and Coleman. No, it's not a law firm. It's the wide receivers. And look at these blocks. It is all 3 of these receivers on the outside. See, they're engaged with all of the defensive backs. And that's the opportunity for Roberts to get down the sideline for the touchdown. That's all created by those wide receivers who've had themselves a day. But this time, helping out the running back Roberts for the game clincher.
What a display from Missouri's offense. 583 yards of total offense, 249 on the ground. 2 different 100-yard rushers and a career day for Jamal Roberts pairing up with Ahmad Hardy.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is what they wanted to do. I was telling you right there during the break, Mike, say they're trying to run this clock out. I love Bo Prabula and his decision-making today. but they're getting ready for SEC play. Okay, this is a non-conference battle. It's the border showdown. But if you want to win in the SEC, you got to do it up front. And they did it not only up front, but with the wide receivers. The running game has really got it done today for the Tigers.
Emmanuel Henderson from the goal line finds a seam and gets swung down at about the 29-yard line. Well, how about that? Massive moment for Missouri to make it an 11-point game. And Jalen Daniels, for as good as he's been in certain moments today, could not get past Missouri's defense on their last drive, and then the big break from Roberts.
And now you're in the hurry-up mode. You know, you're down 2 scores, so you have to go and throw the football. You got to score quickly. Maybe even get down there. If you don't convert, kick a field goal and try to get the ball back with an onside. But you got to work with 3 timeouts, and you're under 2 minutes.
Pressure off the edge. Daniels forced and flushed, and he just gets rid of it. Nearly intercepted by Toriano Pride with Darius Smith and Damon Wilson in pursuit of Daniels.
Yeah, Wilson and Young. These guys have had some great rushes today. And what they're doing, they're flushing Jalen Daniels out of the pocket, you would say, but he's great on the run. But still, when you've got that type of pressure, just not allowing Jalen Daniels to be comfortable when he makes that throw.
Four-man rush. Daniels stepped up, slips it to Hanukkah, and Hanukkah gets toward the sideline and does get out of bounds. Wrapped up by Santana Bander. So third down coming up with 1:26 to go, and still all 3 timeouts for Lance Lackpool.
Yeah, these receivers got to make a play now. It's been tight ends a lot so far today for the offense. They've missed some deep shots down the field to the wide receivers, but in this moment, can these wide receivers make a play deep down the field? They're going to need a chunk play.
I think those 2 missed balls that Daniels threw a couple drives ago, and then the drop from Emmanuel Henderson. Kansas is going to rue those. Third down and 5. Daniels, sideline too tall. Intended for Keaton Kabeka. It's 4th down, and now a scrum back near the line of scrimmage. Calvin Clements, the left tackle, 75 in white, who is from Lawrence. He is a 5th-generation Jayhawk, was jawing at the Missouri defense.
It's a nice job by Corey Batuno, the defensive coordinator for Missouri. He's just got the 3-man rush right now. He's got 2 spies. He's got Trotter, the linebacker, spying the running back. But number 5, Khalil Jacobs, he's the senior linebacker. He's the one that's the spy on Jalen Daniels. So you've got 2 spies working and a 3-man rush up front.
Hope hovers for Kansas while Missouri looks for the kill shot.
Here's your spy on Daniels.
Daniels got it complete. Cam Pickett good enough for a first down, and that moves the sticks. 4th down and 5. They get 6. Still 1:15 to go, down 11.
Yeah, you've got to hurry up. You've got to push the ball down the field. It's just a conversion to get you a new set of downs, but you need a chunk play here.
Daniels searching. Flushed again, and this one along the sideline is incomplete. Out of bounds. Dalen Carnell with a late signal nearly had an interception.
Yeah, he's calling for a review, right? Carnell is. He says, I got a foot in bounds. Let's see. Nice job. Does he get a foot in bounds? That's an interception. I think that's an interception. I'm going to look.
The previous play is under review.
I'm going to look at the back foot. Throughout this play, does he have possession? And that back foot, I think it's the left foot, seems to be down.
Left foot definitely drags inbounds.
And I love that we're on a turf, so we see the black pellets pop up, right? those little pellets pop up, lets you know that the foot was in bounds. So that tells you that. Now, when does he gain possession? That's going to be, does he have possession as the foot hits in bounds? And those looks are great because we see those pellets pop up off the ground that says he did get a foot in bounds.
So you're good on the foot. Then the question is the catch and the definition. Secure firm control with the hands or arms. Does it satisfy that? I think so.
I think so. I think the pellets popping up. I think he showed he had firm control of that football in his hands. I'm going to say that this call will be overturned to an interception and a ball game, and the Tigers defense make a play.
Mike McCabe looks things over. Referee leading up this Big 12 crew, talking with replay official Richard Brown and the replay group upstairs.
Yeah, I would be shocked if this is not overturned. I think all the elements of an interception on that play will be an interception.
I'm with you, and that would stamp it for Missouri.
It's an unbelievable effort there by Carnell. Here comes the call.
After review, the defender intercepted the ball. It'll be Missouri's ball. First down at the 48-yard line.
Dalen Carnell with the interception of Jalen Daniels with 1:06 to go, and Missouri can taste it. What a comeback. This was a 15-point deficit for Missouri. Would be the largest comeback win since 2016. There's a flag down near the 19-yard line.
I think that may be a little unsportsmanlike conduct at the end with the confirmation of the interception on Missouri. But you mentioned it, Mike. After this first quarter, this crowd was stunned. It was a 21-6 lead for the Jayhawks.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense in the previous play. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And what a job by Eli Drinkwitz, and he knows how much this means right now. I mean, this is a program that back-to-back years, at least 10 wins, and yet not in the preseason top 25, which is kind of hard to believe. They're about to improve to 2-0, and what a start to this season with this rivalry back underway. Ahmad Hardy on the ground takes it past the 40. They bang the drum, their own drum, every Friday during the season. Not just for the border showdown against Kansas. Now, for real, that prize is 60 seconds away.
That's how huge this game was, too. It's not just banging the drum. It's obviously the border showdown. But I think, Mike, more importantly, Missouri wanted to know who they were as a football team. Who are the 2025 Missouri Tigers? This was their first big-time opponent. Central Arkansas a week ago, you had, a blowout win. But this would really tell us what kind of team Missouri is going to have this season. And they had a little bit of everything. They had plays from the receivers, the tight ends, some outstanding rushes by those ends, and then a play in the secondary to kind of seal it for the Tigers.
And I think most of all, another affirmation that Bo Prabula is a guy.
Well,
and this is 2 weeks in a row. It was Central Arkansas last week. And no, this isn't necessarily a top 10 opponent, but man, he looked good again today. Hands it off to Ahmad Hardy, who plunges forward. Third down coming up. Kansas can use in second timeout. No, they're going to give it a first down there. So that is enough for a first down to move the sticks. And what a job by Bo Prabula in the portal. Felt so conflicted about what he had to do. Went in to talk to James Franklin. He asked James Franklin, what should I do? Should I leave my team before our first of what ended up being multiple playoff games? and they came to a decision. They talked over the course of multiple days. Heck, he practiced with Penn State the day he entered the portal, but he wanted a chance to be QB1.
I just thought it was funny that he said, I'm kind of taking a part out of Joe Burrow, former Ohio State and LSU Heisman Trophy winner. Said, I played football at Ohio State. I mean, I went to school at Ohio State, but I played football at LSU. And Bo Prabula, I went to school at Penn State, but I'm the quarterback at Missouri.
And in the biggest game of his